Welcome back. My name's Adelante, and I'm here to talk to you all about how to build your brand online as an indie rapper.
Adelante, make the beat drop.
So, first and foremost, if you're new here, I appreciate you clicking. I appreciate you joining me. I'm here to give you all the value that I possibly can in terms of social media marketing, in terms of music marketing, especially if you're an independent rapper, independent music producer, singer, artist. I'm here to help you out. So let's get into it. Now, the one question, is branding important? Yes, it is. It's very important. Now, the reason it's important is because fans aren't only buying your music, they're buying your persona. So that includes everything. That includes the way you dress, the way you walk, the way you act, the way you talk, everything. They're buying into that. They're investing into that. So if you really want to brand yourself as an independent artist, here are the steps that you need to take. First, consistent messaging. Now, what I mean by this is if you're a rowdy and aggressive singer or rapper, stick to that, right? If you're a conscious and a political type of rapper or singer, stick to that. But you have to stay consistent throughout everything. Now, what ends up happening is that your fan base, as you build it, they start getting used to a certain type of sound, a certain type of style. Now, I don't know if you've ever had this before, or this has happened to you before. It's happened to me, right? You really like the way an artist releases their last album or the sound they had on the last album, so you invest in that, right? And they do that consistently for like 2 or 3 albums. But as all artists go, they like to evolve, they like to develop their sound. Take into account Kanye West, right? His first 3 albums, all sample based, all soulful, everything, right? He goes through his little issues, right? He drops 808s and heartbreaks. Completely changes his sound, goes completely left field, does auto-tune, nobody's been doing that, starts singing. Everybody either loved it or hated it, right? Same thing. He kind of goes back onto it. He starts releasing more music. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy comes out, which is a classic, by the way. And then goes through his own issues again, wants to develop again, drops Yeezus, right? People bashed it, people loved it. They were on opposite sides of the spectrum. This is what I mean. Now, Kanye West obviously is at a level that he's gonna have fans regardless. But as an indie rapper, as an upcoming rapper, you want to build that consistent messaging throughout all of your music. So make sure you identify that. This is what I mean by finding your niche, right? Again, if you're rowdy, if you like making party music, you like making hype music that's just gonna knock in the club, that's gonna have people dancing, stick to that, right? That's your lane, that's your niche. Target that and target it every single time. If you're chill, if you're laid back, you like the boom bap, you like the jazzy sound, stick to that because there are fans for that. There's fans in every single market. You just have to identify what your messaging is going to be. Number 2, color branding. Different colors evoke different emotions in people, right? So depending on what your music sounds like and the kind of emotions that you want to bring out of people, you're going to choose a specific color. So you want to look up, they're all over Google. You just Google color branding, or sorry, my bad. You Google color psychology wheel, right? And it looks like this. Boom. And what that is it gives you different emotions tied to those colors, right? So for example, me, I wanted to create a chill ambiance right now in my studio. So I got that, kind of purplish background going. I got the purple lights in the back. This is all to brand this video, right? You want to do the same with your music and your persona. So pick a color tied to this type of emotion that you want to get out of people and then roll with that. Change your icons on social media, your cover arts. Everything is going to be around this color. Now, yeah, you can evolve and you can change a different color, right? Depending if this album that you're about to drop in the next 3 months has a certain feel to it, that's when you're going to want to brand it with that color. And then next time, right, you drop another album that has a different feel to it, you're gonna brand it with a different color. This is something that people do on a consistent basis, so make sure you do that as well. Next up is the style of music videos that you're going for. Again, this all ties back to your consistent messaging, your branding. This is how you build your brand. This is how people are going to recognize you when they just see the thumbnail of your music video or when they see a post pop up on social media. Coloring, But now we're talking about music video styles. And one person that I've been following for a little while now and who does this extremely well is Coda the Friend. Now, Coda the Friend, if you're not familiar with him, he's a New York-based rapper, super chill, has that lo-fi feel to him with like bouncy, jazzy drums, all of that. Super laid back, super chill. He films and edits his own videos, and he does it in the same way every single time. It's usually just him and the camera like this, and he's out somewhere in like a park, or he's sitting on a bench, or even in like a chair reading a book, and then he's just rapping to the camera, right? And he even has little subtitles on the bottom. But every single video is exactly the same style, right? And he's already starting to blow up, right? He's getting hundreds of thousands, if not million views on his video and streaming, right? He's doing it on a consistent basis. He's branded himself in this way. His music sounds similar to what his videos look like, and he dresses with the similar colors, right? All of that is tied together. Now, as I'm on the topic of how you dress and how that is part of your brand, it's part of this, your image branding. So your image branding means the way you dress, the way you interact with your fans, the way you interact with other people who are interviewing you, your aesthetic, everything, the way you talk, right? You want to have that be on a consistent basis all around. So, for example, if you are this super open book type of person, right? And you're interacting with your fans, you're messaging with them, you're talking with them, you're bringing them into like Zoom calls, all of this. And so they gravitate you because they like that. They like that you are opening and you're pulling the curtain, right, from behind everything, and you're showing them behind the scenes step by step of everything, right? A lot of artists have done this. Logic has done this. He's brought his fans with him the entire way. So he built up his fan base from nothing based on the fact that he made them feel like they were part of the journey. They were part of his family. They were part of his team, right? So every step of the way, he made sure that they were there and they were valued, right? That would completely change if you went that route and you did that, and then all of a sudden completely changed it and closed everybody off and had this huge ego, right? And now you're coming across in a completely different way. So that's where you wanna really hone in on your image branding. Like, who do you want to be? How do you want to interact with people? And on the flip side, there are people who are like that, and people love them for it, right? They walk around like, you know, their shit don't stink, and people just love them because they're dropping amazing music, and they feel like they, you know, their fans are cool with that, right? And that's what draws them to it. But make sure your image branding is consistent. Next, identify what is unique about you. Now, this might be the hardest piece of this all, right? And you might even want to start with this. But what is unique about you? Like, why should people listen to your music, right? On a personal level, we all feel like we make the dopest music possible or even out there, right? And there are 30,000 other people on a daily basis that are uploading music to Spotify and other streaming companies and streaming platforms that feel exactly like you do right now. That they've just made the next hit, that they've just made the best song ever, and they're uploading it right now. Like 20 to 30,000 people on a daily basis. These are numbers that the people from Spotify have released and said this is what is being uploaded on a daily basis. So, why? That's the big question. Why should people care about your music and you, right? Now, if you are following these branding steps and you're following some of the tips that I've given you in these other marketing videos, people are starting to put that why together, right? You're starting to show them why. Like, you can't just talk about it. You have to show them. You have to show them that, one, you're the hardest working independent artist out, right? You are dropping music on a consistent level. Nobody's going to outwork you. Nobody's going to outmarket you. Nobody's going to engage with their fans than you, right? And people can do this on an independent grassroots level, right? You don't need an insane amount of marketing budget in order to do this, right? Instagram Reels, TikTok, like, these are all free platforms that I've seen people just within this past year explode their fan base, right? And this is something that you can do as well. It's important for you to sit down and identify, why is it important? Why is it important for people to listen to your music? Why should they invest in your music, right? We all know eventually at the end of the day, your mama, your family, everybody like that is going to invest in your music, but why should anybody else, right? Like, why should somebody take the time out of their day to invest in your music? It's tough, but it's a question we all have to ask ourselves. And lastly, and most importantly, right, now that we've got through the tough part, right, why, do you, right? This is super important. Like, no matter what brand you build, whether it's the party person, whether it's the chill, laid back person, whether it's the political person, however it is that you want to go about it, make sure it's true and authentic to who you are, because that eventually radiates through your music, through you. So if I was sitting here acting a certain way that wasn't true to who I was, you all would be able to tell. It would come up across like my social media posts. It would come across my videos, my interactions with my clients, with artists that I'm working with brands that I've done business with. It would come across in every single space that I was being fake to everybody else. But for me, I've been the person that I know I want to help out, and I've always kind of been that way. So you need to make sure you are true to who you want to be. Do you want to be the person who's dropping these club bangers? Do you want to be the person who is, singing romantic love ballads, R&B ballads to like, swoop people off their feet or fall in love? Like, be true to who you want to be, right? And that's the most important piece to it, because that is going to help you and make the journey fun. The journey's tough. The journey's not going to be easy. But if you're true to who you are, it's going to make it that much more fun, and you're going to enjoy it along the way. So if this has helped you, drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what it was that stood out to you the most. And if you're an artist and you're looking for beats for your next project, hit up my Type Beat channel, email me. I would love to work with you all. My name is Adelante, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.